A program with 149 sub-projects, 185 researchers, 80 institutions, and 44 universities is not a side hobby. This is nation-scale infrastructure for behavioural control. Universities, hospitals, prisons, foundations, charities, the exact places that produce and gatekeep knowledge, regulate pharmaceuticals, and have control over vulnerable bodies. It's in their own budget lines. 20% of R&D was committed to behavioural control, and that was under purely internal controls, domestic population. And these are long-term budget allocations, not once off. Think about what this did structurally. They were presenting extremes as innovation through Dr. Cameron's work. They published these techniques, deep patterning, psychic driving, in mainstream psychiatric journals. Long, tedious academic papers that describe drug-induced comas for 22 hours a day. Euphemism is the method. These documents are bloodless violence, restructuring, deep patterning, total amnesia, which are giving them brain damage. You want to see if you can use their bodies, create a husk of a human that you can send into war, into battle. And then you're giving that to a well-respected university and asking them to peer review it as normalization. What the fuck is deep patterning? The CIA using taxpayer money to launder influence through their Society for Investigation. Everything that was studied later shows up in Guantanamo. These were interrogation techniques being studied on America's most vulnerable people. And they did not stop, you're right, they evolved. They continued studying the public through different ways and means. MKUltra experiments often get covered through the lens of conspiracy or LSD fascination, but what they truly are were behavioral technology that exists still. It's the capability of the American government to study, stalk, and then shape the behavior of its people across institutions, across decades. What started in the 70s as a research program is now a standing parallel intelligence network, and a lot of it is very, very private, run for profit. This is a network that links big companies straight into American domestic policing and surveillance. This is a members-only club. Security, surveillance, big tech, energy, banks, airports, phone networks, hospitals. They get closed briefings, early warnings, and inside information that the public does not. In return, they feed tips about suspicious people back to the FBI and the federal government. They hide in plain sight because on paper, each group is technically a charity that can take corporate money. It's a fusion of corporate power, insider information, the surveillance state, and the FBI, giving eyes and ears to both. With MKUltra, the state used medicine and research as cover to test torture techniques on ordinary and vulnerable people. With this one, the state is using security and surveillance and infrastructure, hospitals, the energy grid, to fuse corporate power with policing inside entities that should be nationalized, really. They've sold this as safety, but CEOs having back channels to police, not safety. It's a slow coup. And it's coming for you.